Hello everyone and welcome back. I am as always Inquisitor Ara, and this is How to Roleplay in World of Warcraft, and this week we're going to go and take a look at another role-playing concept, the Witch Doctor. To be a Witch Doctor is not only to be a medium for the spirits, though that in itself is an impressive feat, but also to be a spiritual guide and healer to his or her tribe. Being the purview of the trolls, Witch Doctors view magic in vastly different ways than the other spellcasting races. Their ability to manipulate magic comes through the use of juju that allows them to twist and turn magical forces to their whim. Witch Doctors tend to come in three specific varieties, each associated with what is considered the three acceptable Witch Doctor classes: the Shaman, the Priest, and the Warlock. The Trolls have always had a deep connection to the spirits ever since the first days of the Troll Empire. However, they never referred to it as shamanism. These spiritualists and primalists were likely the very first iteration of the Witch Doctor they are known as today. These Witch Doctors operate similarly to Orcish and Tauran Shaman, though most are granted their power through the Loa, which is the common belief across the three primary types of Witch Doctors. The Totemic Witch Doctor calls upon the natural world and tends to serve Loa that represents natural forces, such as Shango, the controller of storms, and Loku, the healer. The Totemic Witch Doctor is generally represented as the Shaman class in-game, and all three specs would work for this particular role-playing concept. While the Totemics focus on the natural world, the Voodoo Witch Doctors often serve as the direct representatives of the Loa themselves, serving as their priests, prophets, and voices. As such, the Loa often grant their chosen the ability to manipulate and wield shadowy magics. These Witch Doctors utilize spirit magic to help them, invoking powerful trapped and ancestral spirits to devastating effect, often removing the heads from their enemies and shrinking them to prevent their spirits from fleeing. The class most associated with the Voodoo Witch Doctor would be the Priesthood, and most troll priests who play as Witch Doctors would most likely be Shadow, as there are no Loa associated with the light. And while those Witch Doctors that practice the shadowy arts of voodoo are rightfully feared, there are some Witch Doctors that dive even deeper into the darkness to embrace death itself, using potent spirit magic to infect the body and the soul. These insidious Witch Doctors are known as Hexers, and they specialize in curses, weakening the body, mind, and spirit to make them more vulnerable to all sorts of attack. Many of these Witch Doctors are bound to the darker Loa, such as Bwansamdi, the Loa of Death, through an ancient ritual as old as the world itself that sends the souls of those they kill directly to him. While these three subtypes of Witch Doctors are remarkably similar and yet vastly different, there is one thing that all three yet still have in common, and that is alchemy. Witch Doctors are alchemical masters because of their skill with their spirit magic. They not only understand the why and how of potion brewing, but can awaken the spirit of an ingredient to make their brews much more powerful, crooning and chanting to the herbs and animal parts that go into his or her cauldron and engaging in in-depth rituals to appease the spirits. While there are a number of interesting potions and concoctions at their disposal, three in particular stand out that enhance their abilities. The first of these is called Shaaka Brew. This is a potent mixture that has a very distinct effect. It maximizes the effect of any potions taken after it and leaves the imbiber with a euphoric buzz. Bombay Brew is a secret recipe that extends the life of any potion taken after it, leaving the imbiber with a skin-crawling sensation, and Zuvembi Brew creates a powerful, suggestive state in the imbiber that the Witch Doctor can utilize to trigger and control the person. Given all of this, it makes a tremendous amount of sense for your character to actually be an herbalist and alchemist by profession, although it is wholly unnecessary for role-playing purposes, it's just a nice little touch to add to your character. Now that we've taken a look at all of that, let's look at some role-playing tips for witch doctors. A witch doctor is not simply a wise man or wise woman and a healer. A witch doctor is to be a cunning and crafty troll amongst some of the most cunning and crafty people on the face of Azeroth. Where most spellcasters are often vaunted for their intellect, a witch doctor is known not only for their wisdom, but for a dark shrewdness and a primal instinct. While they are indeed very wise, they also tend to be eccentric, as you would expect from a person who deals closely with the spirits of all kinds, as well as creates strange, hallucinogenic, and often toxic concoctions. The iconic witch doctor, no matter the base class, helps his or her allies with their strange combination of science, magic, and faith. Savage and nefarious, witch doctors serve the Horde as valued spirit guides, healers, and mad scientists. Few cross witch doctors and live to tell the tale, for they possess strange, nearly unknowable power, calling on the elements, the spirits, and darker, more insidious magics to further the ends of the tribe, themselves, and the Horde. Anyways, that is going to be it for me for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you like what you see and you want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, comment below, and subscribe. Make sure you ring that little bell to stay up to date on my new content. And if you want to donate, make sure you check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below. Thanks again so much for watching. Have a great week, have a great weekend, and I will see you again in Azeroth.